Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a different one. We're going to do Reseller Cribs Edition or Cribs Reseller Edition. I want to go through my reselling room and kind of show you guys how I have it all set up and how I run my business every day. This room, when we first, little backstory here, when we first bought this house, we bought this room. We wanted to make sure it had this room. So we had a place where I could do my craft stuff and my husband can do his gaming. And when we moved in, that was my main intention. I actually had them put a 20-volt outlet in so it could work my heat press. I was super, super crafty. Well, Pinteresty, but crafty in a sense. And we needed a space to do it. Coming from Colorado to Arizona, we lost our basement. You don't have basements in Arizona. The ground is hard as rock and they don't give you basements. So because of that, we needed a space that we could kind of claim as a basement. All right. So we've got this room. They called it a flex room, but it is 20 by 20, perfectly squared room. All right. So it's got to be climate controlled. So it's indoors. That's the number one thing that I have to have in Arizona. Otherwise, my inventory will melt. It's 100 degrees outside. We don't want anything to melt. So it's a fairly big space, but I did give a small corner to my husband that he can still have for his gaming, but I have taken over 3/4 of it with my business. So let's go in. Let's show you around everything that's kind of from my systems, how I work, how I organize, and how I run my eBay business. So for starters, we're going to flip the camera over here and you will see my box pile. So I have a collection of recycled boxes. These are boxes that I've picked up from family. I've saved from orders. We got big Amazon boxes. We've got some Sam's Club boxes. But there are going to be boxes that I've purchased. So these are I think these are my boot boxes or my VCR boxes. I have both. That I've bought specifically with that in mind. I think those are my VCR boxes. These I picked up at Goodwill actually for like $4, I think, for that whole stack. So they're just small little boxes that are good to have. Then I'll pan the camera. You can see that's the space that is my husband's gaming space, this TV and his Xbox stuff. I've got my plush over there that I need to put up on Whatnot. And sometimes he can sit, but right now it's taken over. When I come into my room, this is where I put all the inventory that needs to be listed. So this is one place that they call the death pile. The weights are not, those are his, but those two little boxes, the games and clubs, I do not keep a big death pile. I want to make sure that I am listing things as I am getting them. Okay. So you can see the backside of some of my shelves here. Those are just Amazon shelves. 6 shelves tall. And I'll go over there when I go through the inventory. But let's go ahead and do a quick little turn here. Sorry, Blair Witch Project. You come into that door. I organize my shoes over on this side. I keep up with my IKEA bags, so those are quick and easy to grab before I head to the thrift store. Boots, things like that. I always keep an empty bin for donations. So as I'm going through stuff and I'm realizing it was either a bad buy or there's just nothing listed, I start a donation pile. So this is where all of that, once it's full, I'll take it over to Savers. So I always keep a donation pile handy. Then we've got my little workstation here. This kind of has some death pile items. I've got jewelry that I need to go through. It's kind of just, it's a mess, yes, but if I need to sit while I am listing, I will move the computer over here, but usually I do my listings while standing. It's more efficient. I think it's healthier, it probably is healthier, so I do my listings standing. So now if you're looking, again, that was the door I came in, we got a little workstation, all of my stuff, okay, it kind of, I know it looks like a hoarder's paradise. It looks like a mess, but in a working business, it's not about being tidy. It's about knowing where your stuff is, and that's what this is. So I've got a radio, number one favorite thing. I sourced it, but I get to play my music while I'm while I'm listing and sourcing. I love these little bins here. This is just probably a Target Walmart find. Keep rubber bands. I keep my batteries. Those are easy to grab. Cables, I always keep those. Same with DVDs and blank media. I'll usually bundle it when I'm listing DVD players. I'll bundle. I always want to keep some video games on hand, so when I'm testing, I can always test. I've always kept a VHS tape and a DVD handy, so I can test my combo players. Just some extra parts, whether it's for PlayStation or Xbox. I've got a, what is it called? An Easy Pro something. It's a disc cleaner. So that's back there along with some of its parts, extra tape. My Jaden printer, not sponsored, but I'll put a link to that in my Amazon link. So you got to check it out. Favorite printer. I had a Rollo for years, upgraded to the Jaden because it's wireless. So I can print from my laptop and I don't have to worry about cables. I've got some cleaning supplies, some shipping supplies. These are my favorite boxes that I get with my eBay credit. If you have a store, you get eBay credit. These little 8x6x4. I use these for mugs. I use them just for all those small things. So I love those. I've also got a link in my description to these little mailers. Gyro Pack is a fairly new, I think, shipping supply company. And these are just nice and small and cute because they've got cactus. All right, so that's kind of my wall of crazy. We got pool noodles. I love pool noodles for packing material. Anytime I pack a combo player, VCR, or something that's fragile, I will cut off pieces of pool noodles. Okay, so then we've got my testing station here. This is just an IKEA desk. It's got little pockets inside. It was originally for crafting, but now it just stores my eBay supplies. I've got my computer, yes. But then I also have my TV behind it that is locked and loaded with AV cables and an HDMI. So when I am testing all of those VCRs and combos, I just plug it in, play my movie, good to go. This is also where I'll test any new inventory to be listed. I just picked up some blackberries I need to get tested and listed. A mouse here. Yeah, so that's the stuff that I'm currently working on. We've got my scale. If you don't have a scale, you got to get one. Link to that in my description as well. And now, one thing that I get a lot of questions about is my photo station. So backing up, that is not a fancy photo station. It really isn't. It is just a put together, very impromptu box. Okay, so it is already falling apart. This is probably 4 years old. The tape's not sticking very well. So what I've done is these are poster boards that I've picked up from the Dollar Tree or $1.25 tree now. But it's just your basic poster board. Okay, so I've cut out these little windows, and this cloth was in the craft section, like the sewing section at Walmart. I can't remember what it's called, but it is a super thin mesh cloth. I wish I remembered what it was called, but if you ask for like a mesh cloth in your craft supply stores, that is what I use to filter the light. Okay, so number one thing is there's no such thing as too much light. So here, I'm going to blind you, but I've turned on my light setup here. So I've got a power brick over here because I run a lot of power. So I got to make sure I've got a power brick. These little lights are LED, and that's what I have pointing through the filtered little mesh. I'm hoping this video doesn't make it dizzy, but those are LED. This guy here, this is LED. It's got an LED bulb in here. LED definitely makes a difference when it comes to lighting. And then this little guy, I can point it. So when I turn him on, makes it just a smidge brighter, but it's just so I can point it. And 95% of my inventory fits in this box. If it doesn't fit in that box, then I just lay it down on the floor. I'll put it on the floor here, turn my couple lights over, and take pictures. So that is my photo station. Really, the best thing you can do is just invest in some lights and white cardboard or poster board. I need to change this one out. It's getting pretty grungy, pretty dirty. I'll just do the magic trick. Abracadabra. Clean as new. I'll just take that sticker off. But another thing that I absolutely recommend for your reselling business is a head. If you list any hats or head pieces, invest in a head. This was a Ross clearance find, but I'll find them usually at thrift stores too. But I got that one super early. I've had it for a while. All right, then we've got inventory. Okay, this is another one I get a lot of questions about, is how I store my items. All right, you guys. So I have over 1,000 items in my eBay store. I don't always stay on top of keeping it organized. As you can see, I've got a pack of players here that need to get up high. I don't like to have things on the floor because I still need to get to these cabinets, these boxes, but naturally it happens. If I'm on a roll and I'm listing, I don't always get into all the crevices. So I start with putting things into a box. If it'll fit into a box, it goes into an inventory box. There is no rhyme or reason to these letters and numbers that are on the box. I think I started with A1, B1, C1, but then I started growing and I wanted it on the same shelf, and I'm just weird. So there is no rhyme or reason. You can put whatever letters and numbers you want, but the important part is that you document what you've put in those boxes. So, for example, in the custom SKU on eBay, that is where you can put what box it's in. So I can say, okay, it's in Q2, just in the custom SKU, and I know where it's at and where to locate it. I'm already seeing some holes, so I need to get stuff off the floor and up into those holes. So these are the boot boxes. I have them just sitting here by boots, so I know that's what they are for. And then we've got this rack of shoes. Those are all listed. I just picked up these 5 boots here, so I need to get those listed. But that is over 1,000 item full-time eBay inventory. And then you're right back to where we walked in, the gaming station and my boxes. So, all right, my folks, hopefully you liked that. If you have any other questions on how I run my business or how I store things or just the day-to-day of being an eBay reseller, be sure to send me a message, comment on the videos, like this one if you like this type of content, subscribe if you haven't already. But I really hope you enjoyed this, you learned something, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.